showcase the depth of Strikeforce's heavyweight division and propel the winner to a championship showdown with Alistair Overeem. Gus Johnson joined once again by Mauro Ranallo, and Mauro, the specter of Alistair Overeem, continues to loom large over our main event this evening.
Yeah, that's right. Back in May, we saw Overeem in his first title defense absolutely demolish Brett Rogers in less than 5 minutes. And remember, Rogers was the guy that made Fedor look mortal for one round. Well, since beating Paul Buentello to win the title, Overeem has reeled off 7 straight wins with 1 no contest. All 7 victories were first-round stoppages. He possesses a size and strength advantage over tonight's main event participants, and with every win he manifests a growing aura of invincibility. Overeem versus Fedor would be the biggest fight in Strikeforce history, but as I mentioned, Overeem does have a loss on his record courtesy of Werdum, and he's made it clear he wants his revenge. However, tonight's main event will determine whether it's Fedor or Werdum who gets that title shot.
And we will find out who that gentleman will be momentarily. We turn to you, Frank Shamrock. First of all, congratulations on your retirement. Thank goodness you're out of there. You don't like to see your partners taking blows or even giving blows. And for you, what went into making that decision to hang it up?
But you know what it is? My body's banged up, and really I'm a better talker than I'm a fighter these days. And honestly, my goal is for the sport. I want to help the sport, and if I can help it with my mouth instead of my fist, then let's talk it up.
All right, so in terms of our main event, what are the biggest elements surrounding this fight?
Well, for this fight, the biggest elements are really a good game plan, incredibly high confidence, and the mental strategy to get through it. It's a classic striker versus grappler matchup. And Fedor, who's been untouched by jiu-jitsu fighters, says he has the formula for beating Werdum quickly. Werdum must overcome the hype, and his mind must become unbreakable as he forces this fight into a grappling match. That's how he can win this, or take it late and expose Fedor.
Now, those are your thoughts, but now let's take a look at the keys to the fight for you, Frank.
Well, the keys in the cage for Werdum are all about getting this fight to the ground. He can do that with a double leg takedown. Once he gets there, he's got to ground and pound. He's got to do some damage. Fedor's been slow in transitioning positions. We saw it with Rogers. He took some damage. Those positions are going to allow Werdum to get into submission holds. Look for him to throw chokes, arm locks, side chokes, and a guillotine if Fedor tries to take this match to the ground. The other thing about Werdum, he's got good stand-up wrestling. He can decide how to throw or manipulate this position on the stand-up. If he does, you got yourself a winner. Fedor, on the other hand, he needs to counter punch and throw that overhand right. He can do it by evasively punching and allowing Werdum to punch first. That way he can see the hole and punch around Werdum's punches. Now Werdum has a little bit of head movement. That means he's going to take shots. Fedor is also a good finisher. He's finished a lot of big men, not only with the rear naked choke, but with his arm bar. And if he gets you on the ground, he can do pretty much any submission ability with his Sambo background. And as you know, Fedor has never lost.
Earlier tonight, we asked you to make your prediction on our main event, and here's how you voted. 55% felt that this fight would go to the second round. A reaction from you two guys.
Yeah, that's where I predicted the fight would end. Second round technical knockout for Fedor Emelianenko. Fabricio Werdum, I believe, can give him a good fight in the first 5 minutes, but we'll see if he can escape the first round.
I don't think we're getting out of the first round.
All right, so 55% of the fans feel that we will. And we shall see, as we are now ready for the main event of the evening, Fedor Emelianenko versus Fabricio Werdum. Here's the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the hotbed of MMA, San Jose, California, the time has come for the bout you've all been waiting for. It's time for Fedor versus Werdum.
So far, I've reached every goal I've set for myself. This fight is my next step to beat the Strikeforce heavyweight champion.
I never think of how many titles I have won. I am just an ordinary man. I fight for my team, my country, and for God. I train for every technique. I'm ready for anything.
Fedor may seem invincible, but I'll show that Fedor is just a man.
Fabricio is no ordinary fighter. His patience makes him a dangerous opponent who knows when to strike.
My art is on the ground. To win, I have to take the fight to the mat.
I don't think about how fast to finish a fight. I just want to put on a beautiful show for the fans, and the rest is in God's hands.
And now, please welcome top contender and one of MMA's most respected heavyweights, Fabricio Werdum.
Fabricio Werdum, generally considered a top 10 heavyweight, enters the cage wearing his gi. He is a phenomenal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, two-time Abu Dhabi champion, and he's undefeated in Strikeforce.
Yeah, and he feels less pressure for this fight because, well, really, he feels he has nothing to lose, everything to gain. He wants to fight Fedor like he did his brother, who he beat, Alexander Emelianenko, who also studied Fedor's fights with Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Found mistakes that Fedor made while on the ground. We'll see if he can exploit those mistakes.
Well, he has a phenomenal training team. He has an energy about him and a smile that is absolutely contagious. I think he's going in there just a pure, positive person. Can he crack Fedor Emelianenko?
It's interesting that he trained with smaller fighters like Vanderlei Silva, Babalu Sobral, Vladimir Matyushenko, King Mo, Mark Munoz, wanting to simulate the speed that Fedor Emelianenko has as a heavyweight.
And that's one of the things that's hard to describe, is how Fedor moves so quickly for a guy so big.
Werdum 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's coming off a win over Antonio Silva, Mike Kyle. Prior to that, he lost, TKO'd by Junior Dos Santos. San Jose, California. What a crowd. The Shark Tank is full as Fabricio Werdum prepares to enter the cage for the biggest fight of his career.
And now, the great Russian fighting machine, MMA's legend of the last emperor, here he is, Fedor Emelianenko.
The great champion enters the cage.